We are Jeff and Heather Sebastianelli, and we're delighted to be the ambassador family for the 2017 Signature Chefs Auction. Our story begins in 2012. We take a beach week every year to go to celebrate the week of the 4th. And in 2012, she was pregnant with our twins. She was 24 weeks along by the time we left for that trip. It was, just as fun as they always are, until she experienced some symptoms and concerns throughout the course of that week. By Thursday of that week, we went to Carteret County Hospital just to be sure, where they confirmed some of the worst news that we've ever heard. And that's it. She was actively laboring at that point.
I was so confused because I didn't know if I was keeping them, laboring them. I didn't know if there was a way to save them. I had no idea. When they were born, I heard nothing, no cry. Yeah, it was so scary. I had no idea if they were alive or not.
It turned into a waiting game. And with additional steroid shots, she actually labored for 4 days before giving birth to the twins on July 9th, 2012. Roman was 1 pound, 14 ounces and came first. Sophia took a bit longer than that, and she was 1 pound, 9 ounces. So that's when the NICU experience in Greenville began. We ended up staying there for probably 4.5 weeks total. A lot of trying experiences during that time. Some brain bleeds. We experienced 2 bowel perforations. Being that they're twins, they were reacting to medicine the same way. Mm-hmm. And the same side effects, sometimes negative, are coming into the equation. So both of those required surgery.
The same surgery within 24 hours of each other.
Right.
One perforated, the next day, one perforated. Being new to the NICU and not knowing anybody, and we were out of town, we were not in Raleigh, it was lonely. My babies were the sickest ones in the NICU and everybody knew it. We were in the most critical position there. I didn't hold them until we came to Raleigh to Wake Med.
The NICU experience was very tough on our family. At the time the twins were born, Stella was 2.5. In Greenville, she was actually able to visit the twins with us and kind of participate. But in Wake Med, by the time they arrived, it was fall, it was flu season, and no children were admitted during that time. After probably 4.5 weeks, we decided that they were strong enough, or so we thought, to make the move to Raleigh because we have our home here. We put in for a transfer, essentially, for them to come here via ambulance. And it might have been too early because that transfer proved to be very difficult. They barely survived.
During the transfer, we were wheeling the twins out, me and the nurses were wheeling the twins out, and they were in their incubators, oxygen, everything going. And Sophia flatlined in the parking lot of the hospital. So the nurses immediately start bagging her. And we hadn't even got out of the hospital. So I immediately second guessed myself, like we should not have moved them. I hit my knees, start praying. A lady from the hospital sees me, runs over, starts praying, and miraculously they both made it. She was fine, but very critical there. And then we got to Wake Med, and it was very different than the experience we had before. Both well, but just a whole new style of doing things. Mm-hmm. And it turned out to be great, but the transfer itself was probably one of the most scariest days of my life. I mean, it was bad.
So once we got to Wake Med, we realized that there was a bit of a race to get Roman off oxygen because he was so dependent, and we realized that with every day, it presented more risks with eyesight, with pneumonia, and a number of other factors as well. Over the next few weeks, we saw them gradually progress. We saw them get stronger. And an important day for us was when we finally got to put them in the same bed, because that's something that was an important milestone for us that we wanted to see throughout the way.